Hey guys, Luke Casey here at WorkTrailers in Pittsburgh, Texas. Happy to see you back again. This is number 2 on our DIY videos. Today we're going to be looking at a Diamond C HDT, and we'll be completing a hub service. So I'm going to pass it off to our parts and service manager, Justin Waller, and Braden Brown, our shop guru. Hope you guys enjoy.
Hey everybody, this is Justin, the parts and service manager over here at WorkTrailers. I'm here with my lead service technician, Braden Brown.
Hi guys.
And here's another video of our next install of Trailer Tip Tuesday. What are we going to be doing today, Braden?
I'm going to do a preventative maintenance hub service with basic hand tools.
All right, folks, you heard him. Let's get at it. Alrighty, so first things first, we're going to remove this outside grease cap. Take a little rubber mallet, tap it off gently, evenly all around each side of it. It'll come right off. Next step, we're going to remove that front spindle nut by taking out that cotter pin that keeps everything in place. So he's going to wiggle it loose. These have the forward self-adjusting brakes, so sometimes they can be a little bit difficult to remove with the brakes adjusted all the way out. Right now, Braden is inspecting the bearing that's inside of it, making sure it doesn't have any crazy wear, checking, pitting, all the things you don't want to see when you're doing this kind of hub service. Now he's going to check his magnet, make sure there's no crazy grooves or anything weird happening. There's a clip on the front of the magnet that you'll want to make sure that is there and fully seated, because that's what keeps your magnet on. So now what he's going to do is he cleaned off the spindle, making sure everything's all good. There's no weird trash or anything like that. He inspected the spindle. Same thing we're looking for on the bearings, making sure that there's no heat marks, there's no gouges, no weird grooves, and just cleaning everything up so we can see it and really inspect it. So as you can see on this hub here, you can see where there's a bunch of grease and stuff where this seal began to fail. Luckily we caught it just in time because we avoided any grease getting on our brake pads. If grease got on the brake pads, we would have to change the entire assembly out. But we caught this one in time. See, right now Braden's removing the seal from the other side. A lot of people, you can do it this way. A lot of people like to flip it over and use a seal puller or anything like that. Personal preference, whatever's available, whatever's easier for you. Right now he's removing all of the old grease that's inside of there just to make his job a little bit easier so he doesn't make as big of a mess. So now he's inspecting his races, making sure, same thing like we check anything else. We're looking for pitting, heat marks, gouges, areas where the bearing has stuck. He's checking the grease, making sure that it's not been saturated with, like, water's gotten inside somehow or another. Now he's going to be removing these races because we have a bearing kit that we are installing here. So how we do it here at WorkTrailers, when you remove a hub, you have to replace the seal anyway, but for a few more dollars, you get the entire bearing kit. That's the inner race, the outer race, the seal, as well as a new cotter pin. So he's removing those. So he just flipped that one over upside down, and he used in this case, he used a bar and to tap it out. You can also use a bearing or a bearing and seal kit and race kit that you can get from any local parts store. Works just as well. And that right there is our inner race removed. So now we have a completely bare hub, bearings removed, seals removed, and our races removed. So now we got everything all removed, hub completely disassembled. We're gonna get it all cleaned up now. Just getting it one good clean before we reassemble everything. Here he's using our CRC smart washer, which I know a lot of people, DIY guys, they may or may not have a parts washer readily available. So if you don't have that, brake cleaner, any sort of solvent degreaser, and a couple of shop rags are more than enough to get the same result. What he's doing now, he's using a little bit of solvent and a couple shop towels to wash out all of our degreaser from our parts washer. Alrighty, so now what he's doing is he's installing our outer race. He's gonna give it a quick tap around the front of it. And he's using our bearing seal and race tool, and he's gonna tap it, send it home all the way. When he gets to the bottom of it, you'll hear a noticeable ping difference. While he was driving it in, it sounded kind of dull, and when it's completely seated, you hear that? You hear the difference? That's how you know, that's an audible way to know that your race is seated all the way down and seated properly inside of your hub. So, new race installed. We're gonna do the same thing for the inner race. So next he's going to take his bearings. Now Braden went ahead and pre-packed these bearings off camera, but first thing he's going to do is he's going to take his inner bearing, he's going to place it inside of that bearing cup or race, whatever you want to call it. And so now he's going to take his seal, he's going to visually inspect it. It's supposed to be a new seal, but he's checking the inside rubber seal. He's making sure the spring in there is properly seated before he installs it. And he's going to get it started with his seal driver and all that. He's going to give it a couple quick taps around to make sure that it's seated evenly all the way around. Now he's going to go around the edge and he's going to get it completely flush with that inside lip of that hub. With it being flush like that, it's going to give us a really good starting point for when we torque down our outside castle nut, and I'll show you that process. It's coming right up. All right, so now he's putting the hub on, making sure that he doesn't interfere with that rubber, that inner rubber part of the seal, making sure that doesn't get damaged. All right, now he's putting on that outer bearing. Placing outer bearing, spindle washer or spindle nut washer, then the spindle nut. So right here is the most important part of this whole process. So what he's going to do now, he's going to use a torque wrench. He's going to torque this outside spindle nut down to 50 foot-pounds. I cannot stress this part enough. That you torque the spindle nut to 50 foot-pounds. So once he gets it set, all right, he's gonna check it, spin it around, check the torque one more time. All right, you guys heard the click. That's 50 foot-pounds. And now he's gonna back it off a quarter turn. And now he's installing a brand new cotter pin. So now Braden's going to fill up the whole inside of that hub with grease. And what he's doing, he's waiting until he sees grease come out of the front of that front bearing. If you look closely, that should be happening any second now. All right, now that it's coming out of the front, you're done. That is it. Now it's very important. The second most important thing, beside torquing your spindle nut, you do not want to put too much grease in there. If you overfill it at this point, you could potentially blow out the seal in the back, and there's no way that you would know that your seal has failed. Like I said at the beginning, a failed seal could coat all of your brake pads inside of your seal. Now you have to replace the entire brake assembly. All right, now he's installing our dust cap, and that's pretty much it. All right, everybody, I want to thank you all for tuning in to our second DIY video. Like I said before, if you want to see something in particular, specific service, any specific product install, let us know down in the comments. Remember to like, share, and subscribe.
Thanks, guys.